Hey, good morning. It's me, Jan, for our episode of Live at 9:55. And I don't know about you, but this is really good for me. Like, I look forward to these every morning, and I'm excited to go over topics that I know I need for myself. And just knowing that I'm doing these every day, it really makes me like get up and do my morning routine like I always do. But sometimes I'd get a little bit lazy after the morning routine and I wouldn't get in and get myself ready for the day like I need to, because I always have a better day when I'm ready for the day. How many of you guys do that? Like if you get up and get dressed and get yourself all done up and ready for the day, like the day just goes so much better than if you spend the day in your sweats, right? So sometimes I would catch myself just kind of getting behind a little bit, and then I just decide, oh, pitch it. I'll just stay in my sweats all day. And those days just never quite go as well. So yesterday would have been one of those days, except for I knew I had this at 9:55, and so I actually got my very best time as far as getting ready. I beat my record. So my record was like 25 minutes from start to finish, like getting in the shower, washing hair, everything, to being completely done. 25 minutes was my record yesterday. I did it in 16 and a half minutes. So I was ready on time at 9:55. So how many of you guys do that? You kind of like race yourself, your personal best time of getting ready ever. Maybe I'm the only one. Okay, well, enough of that. Our topic for today, oh, good morning, Chad. Thanks for being on. It's nice to see you. Our topic for today is going to be personal change, which is tough sometimes. It's hard to do. As we've talked about, this is our focus for the year with me doing these lives. It's for me to create the very best year of my life. And in order to do that, I got to change. I got to do things differently a little bit, right? So making sure I get up and make sure I get ready every day is something that this will help me do. But it's change, and sometimes we resist change. And so I want to talk about that today. Like I found a really great article about change, and there are six obstacles for growth that people oftentimes will be faced with. And I'm just going to go through these and then talk about the opposite of what helps us grow. Okay? Oh, hi, Ty. Ty Berger is watching. He and I grew up together. It's so great to see you. So one of the first things that keeps us from wanting to change is that we can't see the path. Like our goals just aren't clear enough. We just don't see it crystal clear in our minds as to what we could create. So it's just foggy enough that it just isn't, there's no punch to it. There's just not enough draw for it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is sometimes we may have had things in the past happen where we've been hurt before, or we can't trust people, or whatever the situation has been, that we tend to put up walls. And so sometimes those walls are so thick, we won't let anyone in, and we just are kind of stuck inside of them. That's a problem for us to have to get through in order to create growth for ourselves. The next thing is that sometimes we can be just okay with our misery, like comfortable being uncomfortable. We don't love how the situation is, but stepping outside of it would take energy, would take effort, and maybe we just don't have the desire really to do it. So we just kind of stay in a self-destructive pattern because it's easier than stepping outside and actually creating something better. And the next one is a real challenge, and it's something that a lot of people suffer with, and that's depression. It can and depression can interfere with a lot of things, but it saps our energy. It can make you feel like you don't have any motivation, and sometimes it can cause you to want to isolate yourself and just kind of hide from the world. And I haven't really struggled with depression, so I can't 100% understand that, but I know people who have, and I really get that it's a real thing. And it's hard to get outside of that. But I also know for myself, when I do have down days, when I'm blue and I feel like just not great, sometimes it's okay to just let yourself feel that and get comfortable for the day and kind of just let those feelings kind of flow through and pass and move on. But then I also know I got to do some things to kind of get myself out of it. And in order to do that, like a shower always helps. Light, like sometimes, especially in seasonal times where you can get depressed during the season, I need to be out in the sunshine. I need to see light. Or I've even thought about getting those lights that make you feel better. You know, those, I don't know what kind of lights exactly they are, but they're like happy lights. They help you feel better. Those are things that you can look at, and of course getting professional help as well too if you're really struggling with depression. But that can be a real block for you as far as change goes, unless you're really determined to do it. Get the support you need and help you make those changes. Another thing that can stop us from being able to grow is to when we're angry with ourselves. And when you don't love yourself and you aren't okay with yourself, it's really hard for you to see what you can become. Okay? So loving yourself, even with your mistakes or my mistakes, like I have to love myself, even though I'm not exactly where I want to be right now. I have to be aware that I have value right now and that I'm on a journey, I'm on a path. So let's try to love ourselves. Like throw a heart in there in the comments if you're just to love yourself where you are right now and allow yourself to be right here and now. And then that allows you to be able to love who you could become as well. I see some hearts going. That's the way. I love it. Okay, so now another one. This is the last one. The biggest one that keeps us from being able to change is stuck in your own past mistakes. Like feeling that, you know, you've done so much damage that who are you to be able to be better or do better. And, you know, sometimes we just have to realize that we are all human. We're all down here having an earthly experience. We're all learning and growing, and we make mistakes. So you've got to be gentle with yourself and recognize if you've done something wrong or you've hurt somebody, you know, we can go and fix that the best we can. We can say we're sorry. We can try to make amends. We can recognize it. And then we can move forward and keep going and doing the things that are going to bring happiness in this life to others and to ourselves. And we can right those wrongs. So we got to be aware that sometimes you're stuck in your past and that keeps you from being able to create a future. So now let's talk about things that are available to us to create personal change. Okay? So the first thing is you just got to want to. You just got to want to. When you decide to make a decision, you decide, there's no turning back. You just make that decision. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to create better for myself. So you've got to have motivation, and that gets really clear. You have to have a clear vision of what you want to create. And maybe it takes talking to somebody else, you know, talk to a friend or tell someone how you're feeling and tell them what you want and kind of refine that and figure it out. Write it down on paper. Like we've talked about in the past few days, language is powerful. Words are powerful. Writing is powerful. That's what's helping you to change those neural pathways that are in your brain that aren't serving you right now. Okay, so having that clear motive, what you want. And then just being tired enough with how things are. Like you're so sick of how it is right now. You're so sick of it that you're ready to just jump in and flat change it. Like I am better than this and I'm going to change this trajectory in my life. You got to be ready to do that. The next thing is persistence. Once you start on that path, oh baby, you just know when you're on a path for something good, there's going to be opposition. There's going to be all kinds of stuff thrown in your path. And why? Because who wants you to succeed? Well, everyone wants you to succeed, but who wants you to fail is the person who doesn't want your success to go out there and light the path for others, right? So there's going to be opposition. There's always going to be opposition. Just recognize that as an indicator that you're onto something good. So anytime there's anything in my life that I'm really trying for and I just keep getting roadblock and stuff thrown in the path, I just say, well, that's a good indicator that I'm onto something good and I'm going to keep right on going. The next one is to be willing to face that opposition, to be willing to face it. When it gets hard, you can't quit. Don't quit. Get an accountability person, somebody who's along the ride with you, somebody who's going the same direction. Surround yourself with people who are going there too. That helps so much to just have people alongside you that you can rely on for help and encouragement along the way, and recognize that it's not going to be easy when you change, right? But the payoff is going to be so great. And repetition is so important. Every day that you do this new thing, just say one more day, just one more day, one more day. I'm going to keep doing it one more day. And as you do that, that's how you get those new pathways, those new habits formed. And pretty soon it becomes who you are and what your life is about, to have these new things in practice. And the very last thing, and the most important thing, and it kind of goes along with what we've said, is support. You've got to have support. People who are there for you, who will be with you, who will help you see this through. I was telling you earlier about this book, the Life Book. Sorry, my phone's bouncing around. Okay, this Life Book that I've talked about, tonight we start in this Life Book. The Life Book is about helping you to become the very best version of yourself. This book is like $24, and I promise you it will become, it's like therapy for a full year for $24.95, I think. $24.50. I don't know what it is exactly. But this is going to be something that you go through. It's not like a quick fix. It's not like a flash in the pan. It's one day at a time, little steps at a time. And it's about the whole person, the whole parts, all the parts of us, how we show up in life, how we handle stress, how we fuel ourselves, how we hydrate ourselves, how do we sleep, how do we move, who is our support system, how do we change things in our lives that we want to change, little by little steps, one at a time. This is starting tonight, and it's a free webinar, you guys. So there's no obligation to any of this. Yes, it is supported by the program that I coach, but I promise you there's no gimmicks and no pressure. So if you want to be part of this webinar, it starts at 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern time, and it's going to be awesome. So I'll post links on my wall for it, and also if you want more information, just private message me. That would be great. You can go to www.habitsofhealth.com to get the Life Book. And if you're watching this in June and you're thinking, dang, I missed it, that was way back in January, all of these webinars are recorded, so you can always tap into them. But I'm telling you that this answers all of those needs that you need to have in order to change. And it will help dispel all of those other things that are holding us back from change. So if you're committed to taking those small little steps to make changes in your life, then I invite you to be a fly on the wall tonight and just see what it's about. Just come and see. It feels so good to be surrounded by people who are moving forward in their lives, creating change, not willing to stay stuck in the status quo anymore, ready to get out there and create great in your life. So I invite you to come and check it out. If you're planning to be there, put a hashtag Lifebook in the comments, hashtag Lifebook, because it's going to be fantastic. And I'd also love to see just a happy face or a smiley face in the comments too, if you've decided for yourself that today is going to be a great day. So you know what? It comes down to just making a decision. Life happens, things come, but remember, we always are 100% responsible for how we respond to whatever comes our way. So thanks for watching today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hopefully we'll see you tonight on that webinar. Bye.